Here's another slow motion video to go over one of the quizzes from this week. So if you have a function, negative 5x plus 7, find the inverse function. Okay, the inverse function, find the inverse function, it's a very methodical process. So this is a problem that you should not get wrong on the exam. You should practice a lot because you already know what the problem's going to be like. So go ahead and do different problems 10 or 15 times until you can get it right every time, right? So the steps to solve or to find an inverse function are to do variable interchange. The first step is change x to y and y to x. Then solve for y. And that's it, okay? So let's do that. So we're going to start with this function. We're going to write y equals negative 5x plus 5, negative 5x plus 7. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to invert the x and the y. So instead of y, we're going to write x. Instead of x, we're going to write y. Okay? And then we're going to solve for y. So we're going to get y by itself. So first thing we're going to do is subtract 7 from both. We're going to get x minus 7 equals negative 5y. Then we divide both sides by negative 5. And we're going to get 7 minus x divided by 5. Or you could just leave it the way it was. Okay, I reversed the 7 and the x because I don't like the negative sign in the denominator. Equals y. So this is our inverse function right there. Okay, so we're already done finding the inverse function. Now it says to prove that it's the inverse function by doing f follows inverse function of f of x, and f inverse function follows f of x. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is, like for this top one, what we're going to do is we're going to take the inverse function, which is this one, right? And we're going to put that inside the function, which is this one. We're going to have negative 5 something plus 7, okay? And then inside we're going to put the inverse function. So the inverse function goes inside, the function goes outside, okay? And in the middle of it all goes x. All right? Because this notation here actually means that, okay? And this notation here means inverse function of f wrapped around f of x, okay? So now let's do the algebra. So if I follow PEMDAS rules, the first thing I'm going to do is take a look at these two here. So I have 5 divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, right? So I can actually remove the 5s, and then I have negative 7 minus x plus 7. If you have a negative here on the outside, you need to distribute it to both elements here. So it's going to be negative 7 plus x. We can now take it out of the parentheses. No need to put it in parentheses anymore. Plus 7. So now I can cancel both of those out, and I just end up with x, which is what I should end up with. If I start out with an input of x, and then I do two functions on it, one after the other, and one of the functions undoes the other, I should get the original number back. Think back to the investigation where I was doing the magic trick, and you guys did all the steps of the function, and then I took the number that came out and I did the inverse function on it, and I got your number back, right? Same thing. Okay, next I'm going to show that f inverse of f of x is also equal to x, okay? So first I put f of x. F of x is negative 5x plus 7 in the inside, okay? What am I putting it in the inside of the inverse function? So I'm going to have 7 minus something, which is the f of x function, divided by 5. So now I'm going to prove this one, and so I'm going to distribute the negative sign to the first and the second element here. So I'm going to have 7 minus a negative 5x, which is plus 5x, minus 7 divided by 5. I saw a lot of you on the quiz try to cancel out the 5 here, but you can't, because you need to be able to factor out 5 to cancel it out, and you're not factoring it out here. So, but look, you have a positive 7 and a negative 7 here. You can do 7 minus 7, and those turn into 0 plus 5x, so you just end up with 5x divided by 5. Now you can cancel out the 5's. Okay? So you end up with x, which is what you wanted. Okay? And last of all, I would like to demonstrate a composite function. So if you have a composite function, and in this case, let me just make a correction here. Okay, I'm going to have the function f and the function g, and I'm going to first find f follows g, and then I'm going to find g follows f. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do f follows g. F follows g is the same notation as if you had g inside of the f function. Okay, and g follows f is the same as if you had g wrapped around the f function. Okay, so first we'll do this one. So we're going to put g inside of f, so we're going to have negative 5 with the x here, and we're going to replace this x here with the g function. So we're going to put x squared minus 2 in the middle. Okay, and if you don't need to simplify, we're done. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that for now. When I do g follows f, then I'm going to take the g function, which is something squared minus 2, and inside I'm going to put the f function, which is minus 5x plus 7. And again, if you don't have to simplify, we're done. Okay? The simplification part is the hard part for some people. Okay? You've got to do FOIL, you have to do distribution of negative signs, things that tend to trip you up. And like I said, you're not going to fix algebra deficiencies during the semester. But if you would like to work with me remotely, virtually, during the Christmas vacation or during the June-July vacation, I am more than happy to help you with that. Okay? So, I'm going to show you one more thing, which I think is the easiest problem to do. But just in case you don't know the easy way to do it is like if you get f follows g of 3, okay? In this case, there's kind of an easier way to do it than what we did here. One of the ways you could do it, and I'll show you this way first, is you just put the 3 into this expression. If you put the 3 into this expression, where we have the x, okay, we'll just put 3 in for the x. We just simplify. So then we have negative 5, 9 minus 2, plus 7. Negative 5 times 7 plus 7. That's equal to negative 35 plus 7 equals negative 28, right? Okay, so that's one way to get it. The other way to get it is you have f follows g of 3. So the first thing you're going to do is do g of 3. G of 3 is something squared minus 2. In the something, we're going to put the 3, right? Something squared minus 2. So that would be 9 minus 2 equals 7. Okay, so that's our first result. Once we get the 7 result for g of 3, then we're going to do the f function on top of g of 3. So that means f of 7, right? Because g of 3 is 7. G of 3 is 7, right? Okay, so f of 7 is equal to negative 5 times something plus 7. We're going to, into the something, we put the 7. So we're going to have negative 35 plus 7, which is equal to negative 28. Okay? So there's two ways to do it, right? You could do it breaking it into parts, first doing g of 3, finding result, then you put the result inside of the f function, and then you find the next result. It's a two-stage process, right? You take your 3, you first put it into the g function, then out comes the 7, and then you put it in the f function, and out comes the negative 28, right? The other way to do it is to actually find this expression, which is a handy expression, because once you have this expression, you can put any value into the slot right there, and then it'll find you the answer of f follows g, right? But maybe it's more algebra to simplify it. Okay? So those are two methods there.